Hi everyone, welcome to today's session of our series of how to start your business with no money or investment. And today's topic that we are going to cover is how do we build our brand. So we have already done in the series how do we create a business idea, how do we ideate, how do we validate that idea, how do we start to work on a formation of the company, that which kind of a company is good for us in the space that we are in. And today I'm going to touch upon the most important and one of the key elements of a business for it to be successful is your brand, building your own brand. So building your own brand again has two aspects as I see it. One is how do you build a brand when it is a service-based business, and the second one is how do you build a brand when it is a product-based business. So today what we are going to cover is how do we build a brand for a product-based business. So why is brand important and what is a brand? A brand is what you create for a product or for yourself, which ultimately is what people are going to remember you or for that product with, right? So the name like Coca-Cola, right? Everyone knows what Coca-Cola is. They have spent a lot of money, time, effort, a certain strategy that has helped them to create a brand of their own where Coca-Cola is just known for itself, not about who started or who's working on it, but just the product is a brand, a very, very strong brand. Every child, every villager, every person in anywhere in the world knows what Coca-Cola is. So that's the power of a brand, and that brand helps to sell the product, right? So a lot of companies, especially big companies, they spend a lot of money in creating the brand, the right strategy, the right packaging, how it's going to be delivered, how it's going to be perceived by people, because you're creating a perception in people what your product is all about. And a lot of the selling or the pricing depends on that perception that's created. So for a startup, it is as important, if not more, to create a very, very strong brand, because for you, your revenues will be a very, very important factor in helping you scale up and where you're going to reach next, right? And to be successful. So if you have chosen to create a product-based business, that's great, wonderful. Now you have to focus next on how you're going to create a brand so that you become really, your product becomes very, very famous. It becomes very, very well known in people's minds. The brand recall really reaches a very is high, and also where people will understand, or the moment they hear about that name, they know what the product would be all about. So it'll become a lot easier for you to launch new products later on, to have a more easy buying from your customers when you launch new things. Now, I will start with a simple example because I have done both a service-based business as well as a product-based business. The product that I started with was a kids line for, I started with accessories, and then when it did really well, I added the kids baby linens and bedding into it. I named my brand Needy Bee. How did I name the brand? One, I wanted a name which was a very childish kind of a name. Two, the name actually came out very creatively from my own name. My name is Nidhi Bantya Mehta. So Needy Bee came from that, and it was coined by one of my batchmates in B school. And ever since then, like my first email ID was needybee@yahoo.com. And I had thought that when I start a business, I would name it Needy Bee. And so when I decided to do a product-based business in 2011, 12, I was sure that I'm going to name it Needy Bee. It goes with the whole childish and the kiddish theme. And my first step was I created a logo for that name. So a logo is like a picture or something or a short form that you can create, which is a visual, which can be used in different forms, on your social media channels, on your stickers, your products. So I had a creative designer team which was involved in creating that logo. The creative designer team was one of my very close friends, so she did it for free, which was very sweet. So like I said, when you're a startup, you have to really ask for help, reach out, try and get a lot of favors and freebies, but whatever you can get where you can save money, hey, it's that much more money in your pocket that you can invest in furthering your business and on your product, right? So my friend coined that, and then I put both of them together, the brand name as well as this, and became NeedyBee. The first thing that I did was I chose a product. I already knew what I wanted to work on, and I invested very heavily on, or I put my money on creating beautiful packaging because I knew I was going to sell my products online, and that was my first move to go to the market. And so, right from the stickers to the butter paper in which the accessories or the bedding or the quilt was wrapped, to the bag in which it was given, everything had the brand name logo copied on it, right? Printed on it. So if you see big companies anywhere where you go shopping, say Victoria's Secret, right, or say a Shopper Stop, you see that the butter paper that they have that would have the Shopper Stop logo on it or a Victoria's Secret logo. When they close it, they put a sticker on it, or they'll put a ribbon that will also be their branded twill tape or their branded sticker. So they're again emphasizing the brand on you so that you would see more and more of the brand. It would get mapped onto your mind. So the next time you see that picture or that color or that logo, you know, oh, that's Victoria's Secret. You know, she's wearing Victoria's Secret. Oh, wow, this store is Victoria's Secret. Even though it may not say Victoria's Secret explicitly, you see that logo and you say, that's Victoria's Secret, right? So that's the power of creating your brand. So the entire packaging. So there are two ways in which you can look at it. In mine was a kids brand, so I wanted to go in a very sustainable and natural way. So yes, I had the butter paper, and I had taken a baby scent on my butter paper, which so people could associate my brand with that smell, right? And so I picked out a smell which was designed again, created by a friend of mine who's into perfumery, and it was like that baby smell. So the moment you open that butter paper, you open your packaging and you get that amazing smell, and it kind of just entices and increases that wow factor and the happiness factor when you open a new package or something new. So that was one of the things. The butter paper had our logo printed on it. The when the butter paper was sealed, we would put the logo sticker on it, which was of the bee that was created for our logo, and then it would be put into either we had these natural upcycled bags, paper bags, which had a brand logo printed on it, or it would go depending on the product on a cloth bag. In the cloth bag, I had taken a hand block. Which had our logo carved on it, and that would be printed on each bag. So again, the brand was emphasized, you know. So right from the time that a person received a docket and the entire docket had our brand printed on it, till the time they opened the product, finally, you know, the 5 stages, each stage had the brand name on it, right? So there was a constant seeding in of the brand into our consumers' mind, and which is what we really wanted, right? So I have had now, after 7 years, sometimes when people come to know, oh, you are NeedyBee, I mean, that's your brand. My God, my child, like, grew up, my daughter wearing your NeedyBee headbands and clips, and I feel so happy about it. The moment has been created by this brand belongs to NeedyBee, or this product belongs to NeedyBee, because they see that bee in there, either it's embroidered or whatever it is. So that's the power of creating a brand. And it becomes even more important, like I said, for a startup to create a very strong brand, because for you, your growth and your revenues will very strongly depend on how your brand is perceived. So you can create a very strong perception of your brand, even though you might be very, very small. But being very mindful of how you want your brand to be perceived can help you right from the beginning to do the right things, to create that aura and to create that perception about what you want to be perceived as. So even though we were working from a garage startup, a garage startup, I've had people who've called me and they said, oh, NeedyBee is from India, it's from Jaipur. I thought it was an Australian brand. Because of the perception that had been created, because of the quality of packaging we had used, the statements that we would place, a lot of work went into the content creation, the thank you cards, the welcome to our family cards, all of that was thought through, right? So these are very important aspects of creating a very strong brand for yourself. And what I will urge you to do is, one, if you have already decided on, of course, we've decided on the idea, the brand name
for the company. Now think of creating a logo or seek help from somebody who can create a free logo, or there are a lot of websites who can help you create a logo for a very small fee or sometimes for free. So take that option, create the logo, your color schemes, and now start to think that what will be the elements where you can create that branding experience throughout your supply chain and the delivery process, right? So if you're selling a product which is, say, a bakery item, then could the muffin papers or the papers in which you would have your pastry placed, could that have your brand printed on it? Could the box have your brand printed on it? Could the ribbon on which you tie the box on have your brand name printed on it? The bag should have your brand printed on it. The thank you note that you sent or the happy birthday note, everywhere your brand needs to be there, so that the name of your brand is constantly seeded into your consumer's mind. And people are talking about your brand. People are talking about not just the product, but the name of your product. So when you start to engage with people on the social media channels, which is going to be a separate live stream, but when you start to engage with them on the social media channels, you start to engage with them through your blogs, you have to keep highlighting the name of your brand, what it stands for, what the values are, what the mission is, how you created it, so that that brand value is enhanced constantly. So I hope this has been a very useful insight for you. Tomorrow we are going to talk about building our own brand for a service-based company. And I would just like to sign off by requesting, please, I hope this has been a very insightful video for you. If it has, please support me by subscribing and by sharing my channel and the videos with your friends, colleagues, and also hit the notification button, turn it on so that you don't miss out on a single video on this very, very important topic on how to start your own business without any investment or money. Stay safe, stay indoors, keep ideating and using your mind productively, and pen down all your thoughts of the different business ideas you have and start today. It's never too late. Thank you, everyone, and see you tomorrow.
बस एंड स्ट्रिंग रुके रुके अभी नहीं, मैंने कहा था ना जब तक इसमें ब्लैक ना आ जाए। वन व्यू है ना आपका? हाँ अब एंड स्ट्रिंग।